Hey YouTubers, something important, so it's evident next video today. So anyway, I want to do a ramble right now, so actually more of a longer video, more longer ass like the big ass cigar. Didn't sound right, just being silly ass like the big ass cigar. Anyway, I want to talk right now why I value my privacy and why I don't give out specific details. A lot of people say, hey, Smokey Essie, why the hell don't you say which town or city you live in? Or, for example, why don't you say, like, which apartment you live in? Or, for example, why don't you say, like, exactly where you live in Massachusetts? Obviously I say I live in Massachusetts. It's so damn cold here, damn hot here, damn. But why don't I say the exact specifics? And the answer is because I really do value my privacy. I'm totally fine. I mean, believe me, I'm totally fine with saying I live in the USA. That I'm totally fine about. I'm totally fine with saying I live in the Northeast. I'm even fine with saying Massachusetts, for example. The state of Massachusetts, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. However, when you get down to the exact town or city, that's where I really draw the line, because you have to consider there are 330 million people in the United States, roughly. That's a hell of a lot of people. I mean, that's a shitload of people. And the chance of something bad happening, like some internet, freak, tracking somebody down in the entire United States, very, very, very slim. I mean, worldwide, there are 8 billion people, 7 billion people. So if you say you live in the Earth, the frickin' Earth, obviously the chance something bad happening is extremely low, almost non-existent. Even in the United States, extremely low. If you say, Massachusetts, for example, the Northeast, yeah, a little bit more likely, but still not very likely. When you start talking about exact towns and cities, or like which street you live on, or like, for example, which apartment complex you live in, that's where I really draw the line for privacy. There's a lot of YouTubers, nice big ass YouTubers like the Big Ass Cigar, who want people to come to their house, who want to meet the people in person. They host, events. I've seen other YouTubers, I'm not going to mention their names, but, they host parties, they host barbecues, or they host, cigar events or pipe events at their house, and they, throw a party and, have a few drinks, and enjoy yourself, with cigars at their house. They invite people over. It's like, some people are comfortable with that. Me personally, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. So I'm fine talking to people online. I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, Smoking Essie, would you be comfortable herfting with me, meeting me in person? And I'm just not comfortable with that. So a lot of people also want me to, way back in the day, this is way back in the day, like 5-10 years ago, when YouTube had different policies, it was actually allowed on YouTube to, to send over tobacco. Nowadays, that it's not allowed. It's not allowed to send over tobacco. You can't mail tobacco through YouTube. It's strictly against the terms of service, but this is talking like 2013, 2012, back in the kind of the golden age of YouTube, kind of the golden age. A lot of people would, send tobacco, and obviously you'd have the address, the person's address on, the package, and, a lot of people ask me, to send them tobacco, and I'm just not comfortable with that. Just not comfortable. It's like, I'm just not comfortable. Well, I mean, I was comfortable with, let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. I was comfortable with people who I really knew in the pipe community, like giving them my address, for example, and them sending me tobacco. I was not comfortable ever, and you have to consider, sorry, he's farted, nice big ass farts for life. You have to consider I was never comfortable with actually sending somebody else tobacco, like actually me sending my own tobacco to somebody else, mainly because, and this is the main reason I was not comfortable, I could not guarantee the person was at least 18 or 21, and also back then it varied by state by state. State by state, back then some states were 18, some states were 19, some counties were 19, some towns and cities were 19 or 18, some towns and cities were 21. It's like, I just wasn't comfortable. That's probably a big reason why YouTube changed their policy a number of years ago, is there's no way to guarantee by sending tobacco through the mail, even if a professional, like a meeting website, like, or not meeting website, but like a professional, like, tobacco warehouse website, like Pipes and Cigars, for example, or like Smoking Pipes or JR Cigars, there's no way you can absolutely be certain you're sending it to a legal age adult. You could be sending it to a minor, and that is a crime. So it's like, that's why I always told people, people like, hey, dude, don't throw out your tobacco. You're wasting money. It's like, I'll trade you. I'm just not comfortable with sending tobacco through the mail. And now obviously you can't do it because now YouTube has made it a rule that not only will they demonetize your video, but any kind of sharing of tobacco, any kind of sending tobacco through the mail is strictly prohibited on YouTube. It's a violation of the terms of service, community guidelines. Anyone caught doing it will get a warning, then a strike, then a second strike, then ban their account. So it's like, yeah, it's like, so back to what I was saying about my privacy before I got into a little bit of a rant about tobacco, because I love tobacco, it's like, I value my privacy. And a lot of people say, I actually had somebody recently, a couple weeks ago, say, hey, you want to meet me in person? I'm just not comfortable with that. So, and people have to kind of respect that shit. It's like, as in bullshit is bullshit. I mean, some of it is bullshit, and some of it is actually very, very valid reasons. So, I mean, it's like, I've had people who are really, not to be stereotyped, but obviously a lot of it is just trolling, messed up trolling, people who are just idiot trolls, dick trolls. But I've had some really, really, really messed up people on my channel, in comments. It's like, I had a guy back in like 2010 who asked me if I like little boys. It's like, yeah, that's really fucking creepy, dude. It's like, and I had somebody back in like 2018 who said, well, I hope you get hit by a car at the grocery store, Yeah, that's really nice and really pleasant to say to somebody. I hope you get hit by the car at the grocery store while you're doing shopping carts. It's like, yeah, that's really, really, really bad. It's like, it's like, for a better word, that's fucking bad. And then I had, some jerk, on this was a while back, who said, oh, if I ever saw you, I would take your colostomy bag off your side. It's like, I would take your colostomy bag and, take it off your body. It's like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, you gotta be really messed up in the head. It's like, obviously it's mostly just trolling, just flaming, but yeah, that's another reason I'm not really super keen on the idea of like sharing my address or like, sharing, meeting up in person is you don't really know who you're meeting in person until you actually meet the person in person. It's like, hence the name. So that's another reason I'm not really that keen on it. It's like, I'm fine talking to people online. I'm fine talking to people on Facebook. I don't do Twitter. I don't do Twatter, It's like, yeah, funny to say the word twat. It's like, but it's like, yeah. I'm not really comfortable like saying, oh, I'm going to meet you at the Dunkin' Donuts down the road, or I'm going to meet you at Starbucks, and let's talk. It's like, that person could be a perv for all I know. It's like, and I'm not trying to dox you or be mean to you or be an asshole to you. It's like, but you don't know the kind of people you're meeting. It's like, and also there's a lot of like, like fanboys who are like, hey, Smokey Essie, I want to meet you. It's like, let's hang out. It becomes almost like an obsession. It's like, yeah. So I hate to. I'm not, and believe me, I'm not calling anybody out in specific. Aside from those few comments I mentioned, they were really, really fucked up. I'm not calling anybody out in specific, but believe me, I feel more comfortable and more safe as a person, not giving out my full name. First of all, I don't give out my full name. I really never give out my date of birth, which obviously is very important because that's major cause of identity theft. I also don't give out my actual address, my actual apartment, complex name. I don't give out, the exact store I work at. I say I work at Roche Brothers, but obviously there's multiple Roche Brothers in, there's multiple Roche Brothers in Massachusetts. It's like, they have like, I think like 25 stores. It's like, like 25 stores. And please, if you know my address or anything like that, please, I would beg you, and I would expect, you would respect my privacy and obviously not post in the comments below. And obviously if anyone does on this video, after I upload this video, I'm going to have to unfortunately block them on the spot, and you obviously, delete the comment, all that kind of stuff. So I would expect people to respect this. They would respect this and just, obviously not go like, oh, time to troll Smoking Assy, yeah, it's like, it's just, my comfort level. My comfort level is I don't want to meet anybody in person that I know on YouTube. I'm fine talking to people on, like I said, YouTube, Facebook, Skype. I've done in the past. I've done FaceTime, Facebook Messenger, FaceTime. I've done Discord. I've done Discord. I do Discord currently. It's like Facebook Messenger. That kind of stuff I'm totally fine with. But actually, let's meet at the local McDonald's and sit down and have a hamburger together. I'm just not comfortable. Sorry. And you can whine, you can bitch, you can say, Smoking Assy, you're a terrible YouTuber. Real YouTubers meet their subscribers in person. Real YouTubers throw parties. Well, there are people who are freaking huge. Hi YouTubers, who don't meet their subscribers in person. I'm sorry. And if you're wondering about like gaming conventions, like gaming conventions, that kind of crap, I don't do that kind of crap. So a lot of people have asked me for like online gaming, like World of Warcraft or like Xbox Live. I'm not a gamer like that. Sorry, I'm not a gamer. So I'm not into online gaming or like Fantasy Star 2 online or like or like those like typical like first person shooter games on like Xbox Live. I mean, the closest thing I will play to a video game. Like, the closest thing I will play to an actual video game is a old, beat-up copy of Pokemon Platinum or Pokemon Heart Gold, on my DS, which is like 15 years old. I'm not a typical, 20-year-old, gamer, high YouTubers, typical ass, like gamer. So who like getting every the newest PS5 and has the newest Xbox, has his gaming chair, who's sitting on his ass all day doing that kind of crap. It's like unfortunately I'm not. So no, I don't have an Xbox Live account. No, I don't have online gaming. I don't do that kind of crap. So and I don't mean to come off as a dick. It's like believe me, I don't mean to come off as a dick and sound like a total asshole. It's like but I'm just not comfortable. Anyway, pretty fucking cool. Bye.